Hello.
You're being silly. Yeah, being silly.
Episode 57.
Hello, Adam. How are you, sir? From Adam Walker, HubSpoke
Adam
Media.
Walker.
From Adam. It's Mr. HubSpoke Media from Adam Walker Limited.
And if it isn't Mr. Resilient Business Systems himself, how are you, sir?
Yes, it's been one of those weeks again.
I know. I did see you during the week. Sorry, I'm just in my microphone. Hopefully that's not making a noise. I did see you during the week.
You did?
So, just for the record, me and Andy have I've walked in, I was on the phone, so
You
apologies
were,
for that. But I did make you a coffee while I was on the phone, so you're well prepared.
Thank you.
And then we said, how are you to each other?
Yes.
And I went, hang on, let's just say that.
Let's just say
how
it.
are
you?
Oh, there we go. I'm good. How are you?
Yeah, very good, mate. Another exceptionally busy week, and one of those ones where, what day is it? Friday. Wow. Yeah. I only just got to work on Monday.
Yeah, I was logged on at home this morning.
I saw that. Yeah. Messages at 7:30.
I know. And that was
great.
I was on it, I think I started at 6:15.
Yeah.
Just chasing through because I'm on photo shoot later today and I'm doing this fabulous podcast.
Fabulous, darling.
But the problem is when you're busy doing things, things fly in on the computer in the background. So
yes.
I was just like getting into the weekend. I'm like, I need to just do these things to set my week in good measure.
Certainly. And I've already started on the work that you've requested, raising a ticket.
Seriously, I raised that. It was, my iPad's dead. No point for
Dead,
that.
no point in that.
I raised that at, was it 7:15?
About 7:15 last night, and it's already done.
This morning.
This morning.
That's even more impressive.
Except that it's already done, and I just need a time from you when you read my response, because when I make the change, I'll sign you all out, which means you all have to sign back in. But yeah, all the work's done. How cool is that?
That is good. If only I had a trusted IT partner.
Hang on, I'll go find one for you.
Yeah. No, you are my trusted IT partner.
Oh, thank you.
So, yeah, has your week been all right? What have you been up to? What have you been up to this week? What jobs?
What jobs? Again, it's been a lot of 365 migration work. So for our lovely customers, Facility 6.
Yep.
Got them migrated all over the teams, performed all of the training. Looking at some Microsoft Forms automation that's going to make their life so much easier. I demonstrated that yesterday, and that was the words that lovely Dan and James did. They went, ooh, that's going to save us some work. And, also signed up the lovely Duncan from Fintry Estates.
Nice, yes.
Floor, so he's another one of our customers. I'm slowly taking over the world.
You are taking over the world. Was it because we put a new flyer up in the kitchen?
It was. Although, to be fair, I've had Duncan on Tom for ages, and he's never got around to doing it.
But we did put a new flyer up in the kitchen.
It looks very good.
Alina, was that you or was it Jess? Oh, it was Jess, I think. Jess made the flyer. Oh, sorry, Alina.
No,
Alina's been producing. That's very musical. Prospectuses and strategic plans and all sorts, graphically designed, living in InDesign, haven't you? Yeah, it's been a good project.
Does an awesome job.
And I've then followed up with sending her more this morning.
Yay!
Have you seen that yet? Oh, good, she's seen it.
She loves you.
Yeah, I was like, here's a Word document that we need to make look pretty. So no.
It all seems to be go at this moment in time.
It is.
A little birdie tells me you're expanding. Not your waistline. Your employees.
Well, kind of. Jess, lovely Jess, is finishing with us in a week's time. Jess has been absolutely incredible.
She has. We love Jess,
and she's moving to pastures new and to a job.
And good luck to her.
Leeds, yeah, she's done incredibly well. I'm incredibly impressed with what she's managed to get herself an assistant marketing manager role.
Wow,
really well deserved. And we, the team,
you must be really proud to give her that confidence and training to then jump up to. It is a big jump, but it must be great for you to feel as though my little fledgling.
I mean, whilst I am going to miss her,
of course we are.
I'm equally delighted that this isn't about business. Is not about being selfish, and I think these are one of those lessons in business that you have to learn to. When people want to move on, it's okay.
No, absolutely.
It's okay. She's got a fabulous opportunity, and we all wish her the best of luck. So we have appointed a new member of staff.
Who's called
Adam.
Just to confuse things.
Yeah.
So now it's Adam the good-looking, which is you, and then the other Adam.
You haven't met him yet. So
right.
You don't know what to call him, do you?
Is he a chiseled-looking guy?
So we're welcoming Adam. So Jess will finish next Friday.
18th,
And Adam will walk in on the Monday.
Excellent.
So, absolutely, delighted to see what Adam is bringing to this. He's got a good head on him, good experience. We're looking forward to welcoming him to Hubspoke.
No, it should be good as well. Yeah, look forward to that.
Yeah, really delighted with that. But obviously,
Yeah.
there's one of those things, recruitment. And I was thinking about this on the drive in this morning. Recruitment is one of those things where obviously Jess got the role and was like, right, I've got this opportunity. I was like, fantastic.
Yeah.
So happy for you. And she, formally, you've got to hand in your notice. And then I'm like, right, what do I do?
Yeah.
It then creates another tier of jobs into your
I thought you were going to say it then creates tears.
Oh, well, yeah, of course. No, but it then creates like another load of, I want to say faff in air quotes, like business faff.
Of course.
That you've then got to mobilise and do. And I think sometimes, like, who am I charging per hour to do recruitment? No one.
Yeah, no one. It's you.
know,
It
it's
falls
it's on
down
my
to
business,
you.
yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so I've been navigating that. And I mean, we put out, and all I can say, and this is like a bit business tip here, Indeed, first time I've actually used it.
Right.
Before I've done it in other ways. We had 38 applications in half a week.
That's pretty damn
I was going to keep
impressive.
it up for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And in the end, I was like, no, I'm
Can't
gonna have
do it.
more people. Like, I looked at the candidates, and there was, some with, well, there's plenty of candidates with all the experience that you'd look for and doing the role elsewhere. So what I would say to a business is, don't faff around trying to do it. Just get yourself an Indeed account.
Yeah.
Because it was incredible. Obviously, if it's an apprenticeship, which we've done with Alina in the past, that goes on the government gateway, the college advertised, we advertised, that's how it went. But if it's just your own job, you've got available. Indeed was absolutely outstanding.
But again, most of people, I don't use Indeed because it costs, but how much
It didn't
time?
cost anything.
Oh, wow.
And this is the thing. So there are levels, you can then sponsor your post, but for me to put it on, it
Was it
hasn't
free?
cost me a penny.
That is fantastic.
And we've also done it with the rugby club,
yeah.
where we're recruiting there. So
One of my lovely customers.
Yes, and you've been doing stuff with there.
We have.
Yeah, so with emails and things. So it has been a really good recruitment experience for me, actually, in the last few weeks, because having not wrestled with Indeed, I've been fortunate that I've had staff that have worked for me for long periods.
Yes, of course.
And not needed to recruit in the same way. Yeah, Indeed was brilliant. What I would say is you can get a lot of applications, and some of the rugby club ones we saw, we're getting applications in. And similarly with the role that we're doing, it's about choosing how you shortlist, get your shortlist down,
Yes.
being accurate with that, and then seeing how many actually took the interview. For me, that was the measure.
The measure, yeah.
The measure. But it has yielded really good results. So
Yeah.
if you're running a business and you're recruiting, or you work in a business,
Yeah.
Indeed has been brilliant. And I know you might go, well, we know that. Well, if you're a small business and you haven't had to recruit as much,
Yeah.
obviously you might not have experienced it. I'd just say go to Indeed.
Go to Indeed. Indeed you do.
Indeedy.
Indeedy.
So that has been a really interesting journey for me. Obviously, got the final onboarding stuff to do with Adam, and the exiting stuff to do with Jess.
It's interesting you say that, though, Adam, because in terms of that whole, as you say, faff, as you called it.
Yeah, business faff. Air
Business
quotes.
faff.
You did air quotes.
I did. But to all of that business faff, again, it impacts your day-to-day job.
100%.
Because you've then got to have interviews, you've got to filter, you've then got to go through the leaving process. Again, that's all extra churn on your job. At the same time, you're going, I need to do this and I need to do this. I need to get money in. I need to complete this job.
Exactly. So this morning I was booking in exit interview with Jess.
Yeah.
So we got that in the diary and scheduled for next week. I was booking in. I've emailed Adam, the new appointee, to I need this, that, and the other from you, and then the IT stuff that I sent over because we need to change emails and this, that, and the other. Anyway, so on. And the reason why I did that is because that's some extra faff that I need to get done today. But I'm here with you, and then I'm going straight to Newton Aircliffe after this to do a day's photography, or half a day's like the middle part of the day.
Yeah.
So, like I was saying, you then
Up
come back
early
to
this
another
morning,
full inbox,
Yeah.
and you're like, right, back to square one. But I can deal with that later, and I've dealt with all of the sort of planning, forward-thinking stuff this morning.
Yeah.
So, your week. Sorry, I've rambled.
No, my week is interesting. What I did want to pick up on you is that your ticket request this morning prompted me. Email changes.
Yep.
So obviously, let's discuss what you've done. You're a small company,
Yeah.
Obviously, everybody feels as though it's like, it's great, Adam at, Jess at. And then you got another Adam.
I know.
And then you suddenly went, bugger, can't do that. So again, just for our listener, actually, I've got another listener.
Have you?
We've got. I was up at We Do HR yesterday, and they've got a new lady. Forgive me, I cannot remember her blinking name. I apologise if you are listening, and she does listen.
You'll be sat there at lunchtime today.
Absolutely.
Like,
I go, but yeah, she said, I do listen to the podcast. I'm like, I'm sorry.
Brilliant.
That's two.
Hello, listener.
Hello, listener. Mark and this other young lady.
Yeah.
But yeah, your emails. So any small business or any advice, even though you think it might be more convenient, really.
Luckily, I'm in a fortunate position where I've got a really good IT company that works with me, and they can just make it all happen. But in hindsight, which is a wonderful thing, because I was like, first of all, the chance of me getting another Adam in are very slim.
Very slim.
However, that's what we're going to do. So we're going to have to navigate that one. But it's.
I would say whenever I'm working with a business and I'm helping them set up their IT, I always go, right, so emails is adam.walker. And they always go, can I not just have Adam? And I just smile and I go, you can. However,
look at this, Adam, over here.
Exactly. Again, the other good thing that we can do, and again, a lot of people, bless them, don't realise this, is we can create what's called an alias.
Yes.
So as from whenever we decide that date and time, you will be sending emails out, and it will go from adam.walker@HubSpot. But I might still have Adam at in my cached Outlook entry. If I email you that, it will still get to you because we can create what's called an alias. We can have rugby star at HubSpot.
Thank you.
Rugby star at HubSpot.
5 from 5. I won at the weekend. I've still got sponsorship.
Yeah, exactly.
Still got sponsorship.
The good news is last week you said if you lose, you're not going to tell me. Still winning? Yes, Andy, I am. But yeah, I could email rugby star at HubSpot and it would still get to you because an alias is no more than that. Yeah. It's just another name for you. Name. So it's clever we can do that. But I always advise customers, just hear me out. First name dot last name. Because as you do grow, what happens? You got another Adam.
I didn't expect that.
No, but that's the other thing.
It's funny though, because in life I don't actually come across many other Adams.
No. Well, Eve did.
Yeah, well, she kept one.
Oh yeah, she only knew one.
I genuinely don't come across that many. I could probably count the number of Adams that I have met on one hand over in my life, actually. Yeah. Which is quite interesting.
Yeah. So the other thing I just wanted to touch on as well, and I'm not sure whether I'll leave it up to you if we mention the company, but when a company changes names, you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
So interestingly, the website is one thing, but his email addresses are something else.
Yeah.
And I don't think this gentleman or this company has had the time to realise that, but it's actually now causing some problems because his emails are all going from and to one of his original domains, but now going to another one. About DMARCs and DKIMs, which is Microsoft's way of preventing phishing and spamming, that's actually causing this company a few issues.
DKIM is a domain name key. Is that right?
It certainly is.
Yeah.
And a DMARC is something to allow to say this is. I can't exactly remember the full name, but basically there's a SPUF, an SPF, Sender Policy Framework.
Yes,
and then there's a DKIM and a DMARC.
Yeah.
All of these things, when you put them into Microsoft 365, allow you to go. The SPUF says who I'm allowed to email from. So interestingly, Outlook, for example, when you send an email from your Outlook, it knows because it's going from adam.walker@HubSpoke Media. Do you email anything out from MailChimp?
Yes.
Yes. So for your SPF record, I've added MailChimp to that SPF record because the SPF record goes, who's sending on behalf of HubSpot. And also it prevents spoofing and phishing. Yep. So I could always and very easily go into Outlook and change my name from to Adam@HubSpot. But if I attempt to send it one, it'll just go, no, you're not allowed.
So it's like a security thing as well.
And the DMARC and the DKIMs are also helping strengthening. Yeah. So back to this company, they're having a few little issues in terms of sender policy frameworks and DKIMs and DMARCs. And again, God bless them, it's not done maliciously. It's not done out of, can't be bothered.
Yeah, it was growth. It's growth, time, wasn't it? Yeah.
But you really need, if you're going to make a name change or a website domain name change, do everything, including
I've
your
said
emails.
To you, obviously, we need to do our email restructure.
Yeah,
we're doing that, and then once that's in place, I'm going to then do It's going to be a pain in the backside, but I'm going to do some housekeeping on my side that I need to do. I won't go into what that is, but I'm like, once that's in place, I will then do a X, Y, and Z, to then fully transition everything over the right thing. Yeah. And I think this is, again, recruitment faff, email faff. I've had someone in touch with me this week, a friend, and he normally just goes, well, last week he came over and he just handed me his phone going, my email's not connecting.
I get that.
And he's using Outlook Hotmail account thing. And it's like Apple have done an update, I think, on his phone, and it's like kicked it off the mail app, and he can't connect in. He's putting the password in, he's putting the credentials in. This might sound really hefty and boring in some regard to people listening, but when businesses are running businesses, these are like the core basics of what they're doing. He then rung me in the car last night.
Yeah.
On my computer, same problem. I can't go in through the mail app and this, that, and the other. And I'm like, so I'm going to try and swing into his house on the way back later to fix it.
God bless you.
But it's, again, he's using insert company name at hotmail.com.
Yeah.
Even though I've actually set him up with emails on his thing, but he doesn't want to use it.
But sorry, I don't want to interrupt. The reason is, he's like, but I'll lose all of my emails. No, you won't.
Because I can transfer it.
Because all you can do is to put a forwarder on. Yeah. So anything that's in Adam Walker Hubspoke at gmail.com or hotmail.com, just honestly put a forwarder on. Yep. You'll never miss it. We can export, we can import. But again, it's a myth. People go, yeah, but everybody knows it.
It's because it's a faff.
It's a faff, my friend.
It's a business faff.
Yeah.
And the problem is you've got to do a bit of faff to get it in the right place, and then you can take it forward. And this is the bit, I suppose, businesses don't really see.
No.
The other thing that I did this week, can I tell you this?
Oh, yes, please.
So I went to Bancaster School.
Oh, lovely.
To interview their upper six students. They wanted some industry people to go in.
Right.
And they had, I think there's about 14 of us. They had us in their library, all in different booths. And they were just bringing sixth form students in every half an hour with their personal statements. And we had to interview them. For me, I was like giving back to the younger crowd, trying to help them and with careers advice and information. That's why I went down the apprenticeship route when we did it. And, I've been asked to do an assembly at a school in a few weeks' time.
Excellent.
So I'm booked in for that, which is brilliant. So I'll always go and support those sort of things. First of all, what I'd say is absolutely impressed with all the students that I spoke to. They're going through their school leaver. I'm saying sixth form leaver kind of. Some are going for apprenticeship, some are going for university, some are doing a gap year and then going to university and this, that and the other. So some are trying to work out what they're doing.
Yes. Which
course. Some are trying to work out where they're going. They're also trying to understand their careers. And I think back, to when I started. And it's a really hard time.
It is.
It's a really hard time for them. But all of them spoke absolutely fantastically well. All of them had very clear ideas on what sort of fields that they wanted to go into. And some of them wanted to go into marketing.
Ooh.
There we go. So I had a quick chat with them. There was a girl who wanted to do... she wanted to go into sort of marketing. She wanted to go into marketing. She was looking at an apprenticeship route potentially and this, that and the other. My word of advice to her was... And I'd love to know if she's done it. I might email the school.
Yes.
Did she set up a Canva account that day when she left, a free one?
Yes.
And start learning how to do Canva?
Ah, yeah, great idea.
Because I think the thing is, she could then go on an application. Because I'm like, if I was interviewing people, like Alina came in, Alina's like, I've used InDesign, Photoshop, Premiere Pro, Illustrator. She's nodding.
Yeah.
All of those things.
Yeah, yeah.
And then in the interview questions, I was like, right then, Alina, what have you, I said you could have one piece of media to showcase a piece of work.
Yes.
Alina was very clever. She put all of her media into one PowerPoint presentation.
Well done, Alina.
So I actually got, and I was like, it was technically one file. So
I can't argue with that one.
Can't argue with that. But to go to an employer and be able to show those things, it kind of flips over. Like, education is so mightily important. But then I was kind of saying, like, you need to also look at your, I want to say soft skills, but they're not in what we do. Like, Canva is a huge asset to any business.
Yeah.
That wants to create flyers, posters, design work. We use it.
Yeah,
We've got a pro account. We use that account. We also use Photoshop. sometimes we don't need Photoshop. Sometimes Canva's just the ticket. Just the ticket, and we can do it. What matters is the result for the client at the end of the day. Prospectuses and things like that, Alina's designing it.
Yeah.
Canva, though, we can pull in the photographs I've taken. We can work with that. So I think I was kind of, especially with her, I was leaning into her going, right, look at your soft skills. What can you learn around your studies? Because actually what happens is your academics are so important, but in a field like marketing, it gets you so far. But the problem is if you can't use tools like Canva, Photoshop and all this, you might have the marketing knowledge, but how do you actually implement the marketing? And that can be the challenge.
Yeah.
But that's business faff. In terms of I've had to learn those products. Alina at times is going, I don't know how to make this go like this. And she, I'm like, YouTube, let's have a look. Let's see what's out there. And I think, because I was talking to you about Mark, I was saying I've got an idea for today, and this was sort of touching on it. But I think actually the more we're talking, it's business faff should be the theme of the episode.
Business faff.
You spend a lot of time doing faff. What faff have you done this week? Have you been faffing with anything for your business?
Yeah, so as you know, we've taken on Luke, the apprentice.
Yes, came down the other day. Yeah.
Business faff. Because Michelle's got to set him up. We've got to, even things that I know we have to do, but Michelle's like, right, we probably need to, we need to get Luke some resilient T-shirts.
Yes.
Faff.
100%.
But it's like...
But it's really important.
But it's really important because he needs to present that image. Yep. But at the same time, Michelle went, I probably need to get you some because you've lost so much weight. Baggy off.
Yeah, they are. Yeah.
But they are. And there's again, all that faff you don't realise that you have to do, God bless her. And she's like, all right, we'll have to get that. As I said, we've signed up Fintry Estates. And again, it's not so much faff, but Michelle has now got to get the contracts. The contracts are like 20, 30 pages long because we have to protect the client. There is an agreement, an NDA, non-disclosure agreement, that if I see anything on the screens, it has to remain in my head or stuff like that. So all of that faff. Nowadays, when I first set up Resilience, you'll be the same, Adam. I've got a customer. Yay, let's work.
Yeah.
Now, I say, I've signed up Fintry. Michelle's like, nope, stop.
Paperwork.
I need to get the paperwork done. And I'm like, oh. Can I not do any work with them?
To do from someone yesterday. Someone signed off on something yesterday.
Yeah.
I've put a meeting in for Monday, and I know that I need to do my business faff, as in get the paperwork in place for that meeting on Monday, which is absolutely fine. We'll have that in place.
Yeah.
But you're right. There's a prime example, and I think I love this actually because faff. It's such a. When you're doing it yourself and you're running your business, that's how it feels. But you also know it's important. If you didn't get the uniform, for example, how would that make him feel?
Not part of the team at all.
Exactly.
Yeah. Because he'd see us all with T-shirts and like, well, I haven't got one.
Exactly.
Why?
Yeah. So, like that. Although it's faff, it's probably where. In fact, it's like the underpinning of the business. Faff with emails, getting that set properly. Website time. We're working with. We're doing lots on websites at the moment.
You are.
Yeah, we are. It's great. Where we're falling down in terms of the challenges we are facing is you're my client, say. I come in and go, right, Andy, we need to get your about page done. We've written everything else. We can see your services, written all that, but you need to tell me about your business just so I can accurately represent it. Can you get me some words?
Yes, I do IT stuff. There we go. That's enough.
But then I go, right, so go away and write it. But then you end up getting like, a bit of writer's block, or you're not sure, or maybe there's some procrastination in there, or you're just too busy to do it.
Yeah.
And then a week passes, and then all of a sudden we're like, right, Andy, have you got the about stuff?
I'm sorry, Adam, I've been a bit busy this week.
Exactly. And then I'm like, right, well, I don't, in some regards, I'm a bit like, I need you to faff on your business.
In order to me.
So I can actually do our contracted work.
Correct.
So sometimes with websites, that's the thing we struggle with the most. Is
which mentioned this, isn't it? The content.
Getting owners just to take a bit of time to do, because it is a faff. It's a faff. And, it makes it our problem when we're doing it. And, we're so close. Like, there's a few things where there's two sites at the moment where we're waiting on just those final things. We're getting there, but it takes a lot of encouragement and requests and all of this sort of stuff to try and get it. But it's making sure that the business owner, in our case, understands the importance of let's get this right, because we're doing this now. Once we get it up and online, you can leave it and then you can review it in a year or 6 months or whatever. or just get version 1 up and then go, actually, that doesn't reflect me. We need to, but the problem is it's a faff for them to do it. But
talking about website faff, if you think about the work we are doing next Tuesday for one of our lovely customers, that's not faff in touch, but that's security faff.
Yeah.
Because that particular website has an e-commerce side to it.
Yeah, and we want to make sure
it's well serviced. It's hardened, as they call it.
Yep.
Where we, apply web firewalls, we apply web malicious tool scanners.
When he says we, he's doing it.
Okay, it's
but
me.
I'm helping with the migration side of things.
But that, again, I don't class that as faff. And from the user's point of view, the company's point of view, if you remember the email, if we talk candidly, our customer's gone, but why? Like, no, it's important.
Yeah,
it's important that you need to do this, and this is why. And also, here are costs. And bless them, they're going, what, really? And I'm like, okay, these are the consequences if you don't do it. I'm not saying it will happen, but if it did, imagine what would happen. And again, we never want to paint a dark picture, do we?
No.
But we remember that conversation with that client, and we're like, actually,
the problem is, if something happens, they would come to us.
Yes.
Right, and we're like, but we
told you.
We've said that we're like, we can't control that over there, is essentially how it works. That we can't control that over there. We can control this over here.
Correct.
We need to move that from over there to over here.
Correct.
And then when you ring us going, there's a problem, which will significantly reduce the impact because the systems that you've got in place. First of all, that should stop that from happening, hopefully. Fingers crossed. We can never guarantee it, anything like that, but it'll reduce the chances of that happening. And secondly, you're in control and it's your package of stuff.
Yeah,
that you
my software and everything like that 100%. That I know, love and work with. But yeah, again, I can imagine if I think on our customer's behalf, I bet she was thinking, faff, this is just faff.
Faff. Why are they faffing around?
Absolutely. Why do they want to move this like that?
Yeah.
But we explained, we understood, justified the cost, I think, quite rightly. Well, we did because, thank her, she went, go ahead, please. So that's fine. But again, me and you have then got to go, great. Right, we better get this done.
Yep.
And again, faffing around, but it's important. It's important.
And I think that's risk assessments.
Another one.
Yeah, need to do those. Need to have them in place because if anything happened, what they're going to do first, have you got a risk assessment is usually the question that follows.
Definitely.
Faff. It is a faff, but you need to do it. Then you need to make sure, in our cases, that the staff are following them and this, that, and the other.
Yeah.
Is that a client work? No, it's faff. But I need to make sure we do it. So I maintain that Alina's not tripping over cables and things are cable managed and she's not breaking a neck. Look, we've got a cable cover down there.
Absolutely. Perfectly done.
Those were really expensive.
I know they were. The smell's gone, by the way.
The smell has gone. It was like really, they're like these big rubber cable covers with like a little hatch that you open to put the cables in. So we got those. They were 60 quid.
I know.
60 quid for those.
But it's important.
And they stank the room out of rubber when they came in because they were fresh out of the factory.
Yeah.
But that was a really important part of it because now it just safeguards the people that are using the space. And then you'll notice we're sat on a rug.
Yeah.
All the cables that come near the table are under the rug.
Yeah.
So you can walk on the rug, no damage, and the loose cables are to the side of the room out the way. But the rug it's good for sound, but also it's good for health and safety. And
cable management.
Faff. There's another 60 quid for a massive
absolutely.
rug. But it's so important to get right.
Well, talking about, again, this is good. So talking about more faff here. So we're currently working with a customer that we're accrediting them for cybersecurity.
Yep.
And obviously as part of that, you go, does anybody have work emails on personal phones? Well, yes, they do. Okay. The problem is cybersecurity touches all these aspects. And we've identified that some of the users have phones that are effectively not supported anymore by Apple and Android, Samsung phones. So again, the company's argument is going, okay, but it's nice that Adam's got his work emails on his personal phone because I don't have to buy him a personal phone. And I'm going, yep, but the phone is out of date. Well, I can't force Adam to buy a new phone, okay, but therefore you can't get cybersecurity accredited. So I'm creating him faff.
Yeah.
He's hating it, but I'm like, but you want cybersecurity.
More handsets.
Yeah, so either, I'm really sorry, Adam, can you upgrade your phone, please? But that's a cost on you, or I'm saying to this gentleman, buy him a mobile phone.
Yeah.
Oh, why do I have to do that? And I'm like, you want cybersecurity.
Well, exactly. And that's the
but
thing.
I am creating him hassle and faff, and I tend to think that could be another this could be another episode. In order to deliver, if you think what I do and what you do, we do generally create hassle for the customer, but it's for the right reason. Andy, I need this content. Oh, I just haven't got time, Adam. Can you do it for me? I don't know your business. It's not
so
my
I
website.
can take a punt at it and I can get it so far. But often my experience when I've done that, I put it in front of you and you go, nah, that's not me. I'm like, because I'm guessing, I'm having to, not guess, but take an educated guess and a finger in the air kind of direction. I can get it quite close.
Of course you can.
I don't agree with that. I'm like, good.
Change it. Yeah,
please.
Absolutely.
Just take a minute to change it.
Yeah, but that could be a whole episode on its own of how much hassle a customer and a supplier generates each other. But I think one of the perfect things, like we do, Adam, we talk. We
100%.
talk and we work it out together. In order to get to this goal, if I go back to my customer's example, I'm going, but you want cybersecurity, okay? I'm not enforcing this on you. I will happily take you forward. You'll fail, by the way. Yeah? So, but all right, well, what are my options, Andy? Buy him a mobile phone, yeah? Get Adam to upgrade, or the alternative, take the emails off Adam. I'm sorry, Adam, you can't have emails on your personal phone now. Yeah. But, and again, I'm giving these issues to and he's like, this is just hassle. I'm like, okay, but it's the right kind of hassle because you want to do it.
But then the trade-off is imagine, so I think the other way to look at it, hassle and faff, if you look at that, if I wasn't to sort out the emails, people would be getting emailing the wrong Adam.
Yes.
For example. Is that going to cause me more hassle?
It might do, mate.
What if it's like personal information to do with staff, for example, from the HR company or something like that? I don't know. Accounts going, Adam, you know, like this sort of thing. Like, so I think sometimes you got to think like the cybersecurity event. Why am I doing it? Well, if this isn't right, what are the consequences of it not being right? And I think, and when you look at consequences, outweighing it's when you so you need the benefits. I know. I'm trying to think. You got to think about benefits against consequences.
Yeah, absolutely, and risk.
And sometimes you might go, well, the benefits are this big, but actually the consequences are so much bigger and worse.
Yeah, absolutely.
Whilst because I think in life we're very attuned to what's the benefit to me.
Yeah.
What does it make? Well, in the case of email, it's like, well, someone just emails that name and I get my email.
Yeah.
What's the consequence? Well, information could go to the wrong person. It could go to the wrong place. There could be confidential stuff that's coming through and it comes to the wrong person. Like so sometimes you need to focus on the consequences of it. So cybersecurity there, what are the consequences? Well, ultimately we're not cyber secure is the answer and we could be subject to hack or
also though impression as well. So let me say if you'd have gone down another line, another avenue. Okay, Andy, please can you set up Adam? You've already got an Adam. All right, Adam C. Okay, so a customer is now emailing you, a potential customer is going, Adam C at. Okay, then Alina at, Jill at. Hang on a minute, there's no conformity. Yeah. And you know as well as anybody about that brand, about that image.
Yeah. And it's even, and this is again what I'm saying about my friend with his emails and I'm not doing it. It's, it's insert business name at hotmail.com.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I've set him up in boxes. But it's just how it looks.
It is.
And I don't know how many people weigh it in that sense. Like, I don't know. Is that surely that is a priority? I even question myself now because I see so many people with
it. However, if you think about it, I can't remember who it was. It might have been Louise Darg when she was on. Bookkeeper has a lot of clients, and some of those clients are sole traders. Like plasterers and painters. Their argument has always been, but it's a free email account. Everybody knows it. I don't want to say I don't need to be professional. They are professional people.
Yes.
But they're just going,
it doesn't make or break. What does it convert?
Exactly. Yeah. Whereas, and again, no disrespect to those sole traders, but a sole trader doing something at your house like painting and plumbing, and I apologise to all the painters and plumbers out there, would I really care it's Adam Walker painter at gmail.com? Because you've come round, I've met you, you're a lovely chap, you do my job.
You probably had a referral.
Yeah, it's perfect.
Get it? Yeah.
I do get that. However, as a business, as in limited company, hub spoke media and resilient business systems. I think that's important. And I'm not dissing the sole traders, whatever, but I also think there's that balance. If you are a
my
sole
DJing
trader,
account, so
yes.
my DJing, right? And I'm not doing as much earlier. I took the autumn.
Yeah, you said you'd
essentially
taken
deliberately. Although I was DJing 3 weeks ago, by the way.
I thought you said you were taking.
Well, I sat on my sofa and then someone went, "No DJ's turned up. We've got a problem. Can you come in?"
Oh, bless you.
So I grabbed my decks and off I went.
And your cape.
And my cape, yeah. No, but I did. I managed to get Miles to bring in some speakers because I didn't. He's got all the kit. It's his kit. Mine's the decks and stuff. So I got there, started playing on what was there, and then Miles very gratefully turned up with a couple of speakers, threw them in, plugged into them, and I just played on a table with some basic lights for the evening. But like I've took a step back just because I'm like, it's busy, it's hard work. You've worked a full week, and then I'm going DJ all night. I need to kind of balance it.
Yeah.
Now I'm fully booked at Christmas. All those bookings have come through a proper email address.
Yeah.
As in, not a Gmail or a thingy, a business email. I've even got a website and I've got an inquiry form. Do I get loads of inquiries through it? No, I don't, because I do this as a side thing. And I work with Miles at MDOC Entertainment. And it's not about that. But there are people that do inquire through the website, do inquire through Facebook, do inquire through Instagram that I've had get inquire and book. And then I'm emailing them back going, "Hello, how are you doing? I'm Adam," and it's off my email address. And I think the other thing is, especially with something like DJing, is you are going to turn up right. I often get people going...
You are going to turn up, man.
I often get people emailing me going, "Just checking we're all good for Saturday." Now, I think having a professional email address with a domain, it shows that I take it seriously. And basically, if I say I'm going to be there, I'm going to be there, and I've got all the... You're looking at it, and it's a rounded... It shouldn't even be a question.
No, it shouldn't be.
You know, whereas if it was like... Big boy Adam 23
I get you.
You know, like there might be like I'm not sure. So I look at it from a point of reassurance, removing question marks. Does it convert? I don't think it converts. I think it's just a case of it satisfies the question.
Yeah.
As in, if there's any questions about it, when they see it and it's standing on its own 2 feet, they're like, right, you take it. It's not that you don't take your business seriously. It's just, it gives you that outlook that you do take your business seriously.
I think it adds a little bit of gravitas.
So I got the van done, yeah?
Yeah, you did. It looks wonderful.
Well, do you know what I was faffing with last night?
What?
Washing it. Because we had all that rain.
Yeah.
Roads were flooded. And I came back yesterday, having been up to Durham and stuff, and I looked at the back of it. And
It's
like,
filthy.
it is absolutely filthy. Now, would I say, if my car was the same, this is how bad it is. If my car was the same dirtiness yesterday, would I have washed it? No.
No, you probably wouldn't.
Today,
have done
I'm
it.
going to a construction company. And I'm taking their photos.
Yeah.
And I normally, basically, I've set, since getting the van and having it sign written and all this, I've set myself, even just the van without it sign written, every Friday I wash the van after work.
Yeah.
That's my commitment, because I'm like, I'll be honest, it's a bit of chew, because you've got to get the kids in. I'm getting the kids in from school. They're getting sorted. I've got dogs flying around, and then I'm like, right, I need to...
You have flying dogs?
Yeah,
hang on, they should be in the circus.
Yeah, they could, my dogs. Honestly, but I'm like, I need to get the van clean, because it represents
it's that image
what
again.
I'm all about.
No, absolutely.
So last night I was like, well, I could clean it on Friday after work. I went, but I'm going to a job tomorrow.
Correct.
And it's pitted, and I don't want to turn up in a pitted van. So I pulled forward I was like, well, I'll wash it tonight. It'll benefit the job tomorrow. Not that they'll go, oh, he's cleaned his van.
No.
It just doesn't question it. They don't do it. It's just, they're not going to think twice about it, because they can just see it. What they would think twice is if I turned up and it was absolutely covered from all the stuff that's been on the roads, and they'll be like, wow, his van's a mess.
Yeah.
So I've literally done it just that's the standard I set myself. And that's the same with work.
I totally get it.
Yes.
Oh,
Has someone
God.
paid me to do the van? No. Is it an extra thing I've pushed into my day?
Yes.
Why are my reasons? Well, I want to make sure that we're representing
Again, it's the image, isn't it?
professional image, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, and that's just cleaning the van.
Oh, I know.
I know. You know, it's like, I've seen it, professional whatever service on the back of a van. And the van's like rusting and falling apart.
Yeah.
And you're like, you've got to kind of match up to what what you're saying.
I think it all adds up, though, and that's what we were saying about the gravitas. If you were looking for a DJ, and again, you get great reviews on Facebook or whatever, but from my point of view, if I was looking at DJs, I was like, who's bigboyadam23@gmail.com or adamdjwalker.limited.
Just for the record, that is not my email.
No, it's
don't
not.
email that. I don't know whether someone's at the other end.
Oh, yes, we apologise now. We're getting inundated. But again, for me, professional email address with a professional website and everything, I would just, I think this
Do you know when you inquire, Andy?
Yes.
So you go, hi, are you available on the 23rd of something? And I'll go, yeah. Like, right, can we book you? I'll go, brilliant. Fill out this form.
Yes.
Teams form.
Yay! I love Teams.
That plays music.
Teams. Does it really?
Yeah, and you can choose whether it's a birthday, anniversary, celebration, this, that, and the other. And do you have, do you want explicit song? Can I play songs with explicit lyrics? Because that's an important thing to get right.
Especially if there's kids there.
Yeah, exactly. And you'll be surprised if there are kids there. They don't, it's like a family wedding or whatever.
Yeah.
They might not want to, or they might, but at least I've captured. So
Correct.
then I'm not DJing there, and someone goes, "Why are you playing songs with swear words in?"
Yeah.
Or the dirty versions,
version,
as they're called.
yeah.
I'm like, well, you've said yes.
Yeah, absolutely.
you said that's okay.
Yeah.
Obviously I'm playing the room.
Yeah,
I don't just do that, but it's also a level of safeguard. Now, was that a faff setting up the form?
Yes.
Yes.
Does it save you time in the long run?
And did I plug in Gary AI?
Aye.
So it emails me the responses of what they've done. I've obviously got the sheet to go off. So for me, yes, that was all the faff, but I don't have to touch that now.
Correct.
And I just email them the form when they book it in. And I'm also like, from a customer experience standpoint, they're going, are you available? They've emailed like an official domain name. I've been responsive because I make sure I do that. And then when they've got to the point of booking, I've went, brilliant, please fill out this form.
No, absolutely.
And there's like a Teams form there with the logo and all this sort of stuff going on, and people can input the data. There is so much value to be said for that sort of experience. Now, would you then be questioning if I'm going to turn up or not if I've gone to that
No,
level?
if you'd gone to that, I certainly wouldn't.
Yeah. And I normally email them going, I'm looking forward to seeing you in 2 weeks.
Absolutely.
And this, that, and the other.
But I do get it from other people's point of view where they are emailing you. And why are they emailing you confirming that you will turn up? Because somebody obviously hasn't turned up and they've dropped them in it.
Yep.
So I get it. I
managed to go from being sat on my sofa to DJing within half an hour.
Did you stop up at a little phone booth and did you have to change?
Spin round in a circle.
Spin round. No, it's Wonder Woman.
Yeah.
No, I get it. But interestingly, what you were talking about there is that I had not my customer, but a good relation. I've got this with this customer company, and they asked me if I could join a Teams meeting. I was like, yeah, not a problem at all. I can help you. I'm doing it as a bit of a favour for them. What's your availability? Guess what I sent them?
A booking link.
And they went, wow.
Yeah.
How's this?
They do that to me all the time.
I'm like, this is really clever. And I'm like, it's just built into Microsoft.
It's easier.
Was that a hassle to set it up and learn it?
Yeah.
Yes, it was. It was faff.
Have in my case, it was like, this meeting type's wrong.
Yes.
Because I've got 4 different meeting types that it can do.
Yeah.
Whether it's a 30-minute Teamser.
Me too. I got a 1 hour, 30 minutes.
Yeah.
And then I've got
in person.
A 1 hour Teams meeting, a 2 hour Teams meeting, a 30 minutes Teams meeting, a 1 hour on-site meeting, and a 2 hour on-site meeting.
There we go.
And either side of those meetings,
I was going to say,
I have my booking slot to allow me travel time.
Yeah.
And again, and it automatically. But this company was like, company was like, we don't have this set up.
But if you're trying to onboard an IT company,
yeah.
and you go, here you go, because that just plugs straight into your diary.
Yes,
so they
it does.
can't, for the people that don't know, they can't see what's in your diary.
No.
They can just see when you're available.
Yes.
You can preset buffer times half an hour before or 15 minutes or an hour. And I put those in because I found myself you end up running from back to back. And often you actually don't have time to get in between things or even just go to the toilet.
I was about to say, my problem is I so need to go to the toilet.
Yeah.
You've been drinking coffee while you've been talking to the customer.
It's happened to me the other day, and it's because I got waylaid with something. I can't remember what it was. I had 4 minutes to eat my lunch.
Yeah.
And I was like, I heated soup to a lukewarm level.
Yes.
As I walk back in the room, the phone rings. Your guest is down here. So I was like, troughing it in. And that was just... And he'd booked in through the link, but the problem is the thing before it preceded had landed on me. Not anticipated. So, you can book all of that in.
Yeah.
But the experience, to come back to that, it's faff to set up, but the experience is great for the customer. if you're an IT person, you're doing it. Because to the point that one of my clients has actually gone, it was a couple of weeks ago, he's like, yeah, brilliant. Yeah, we could jump on a Teams call. Just book some time with me. I was like, wait a minute. He's seen mine, put it on his, got his IT, because they've got Teams in their own environments at school. It's like, it just says underneath, book time with me. Yeah. I'm like, that's the exact word I use.
Yes, he's just nicked it.
He's pinched it. I was like, fantastic. Because what it is I can then look at my diary and I can look at his diary and pick a spot. It's so much better than back and forward.
But as you say, though, was it a faff? Yes, it was. But how much difference does it make to your day now? You know, and I've heard you say this before. Oh, God, I need to get some time with Adam. Book some time with me.
Yeah.
You don't have to worry about it.
Bosh. Yeah. And then this morning, it was the other way. I've literally just sent 2 meeting requests out. I've got time on Monday. Let's get this thing moving. I'm sending in, see if you're about. Basically, I'm like, I think they'll be around.
Yeah.
Let's try and get them in. It does mean that you're managing your diary a whole lot better.
Oh, God, absolutely.
It's so important to do.
Yeah. Interestingly, the other thing that I've now had to start to do is I've had to put in recurring schedule appointments to book some time. I called it admin time.
Yeah.
Because I'm getting so busy.
Yeah.
You know, I can't have people booking my diary. I'm like, no, you know.
Yeah,
so
you've got to do that.
What I tend to do is when somebody books my diary for that meeting, they've got a slot, I tend to book half an hour straight after that meeting, because I need to go, right, well, I will have had some actions from that meeting.
What am I doing?
What am I need to do? So I literally go in and go, oh, Adam's booked some time in between 10 and 12 next week. Right, straight after that, half an hour. HubSpoke admin time, because out of that meeting will generate some admin. Otherwise, I'm straight into the next meeting, and then a week later, you're going, where's the things you promised me? Sorry, I forgot.
But this is the thing, it's faff. It's like you're constantly having a sort of tinker with your time. Time's the biggest problem I have.
Oh, God, yeah.
Stuff.
Can somebody invent a 25-hour day?
Yeah, well, I sat there this morning, and I looked at my diary. I always look at my diary for the next week. And what I start doing is blocking bits out.
Yeah.
I'm going to do this bit of work here, this bit of work here. How far have we got with the projects this week? That needs to go there. What hasn't had the attention yet but needs the attention or is coming on? And start doing it. But it's a faff. But partly I do it for my own peace of mind.
Well,
because I know that I'll have like someone on Tuesday going, how are we getting on with this?
Correct.
And it's like, well, and the other thing I'm doing is like telling people, right, I've scheduled that for work.
Yeah.
You know, I'm telling a lot of people to stop lastminute.com with me. Not sponsored. But like, because they keep going, can you do this? And the problem is with recruitment stuff, that
which is what we started with.
With, you know, VAT return, which was the other week, done that, had to deal with queries around the books and the accounts and what's this for, what's that for, are they in the right categories?
Yeah.
You know, what are all this sort of stuff, absolutely vitally important to get right.
Definitely.
To make sure that you're compliant. You know, it all takes time out your week and day. Also, people email me stuff.
Yes.
So Alina, the design work that Alina's working on, was sat in my inbox. And I'm like, I need to, sorry Alina, move it onto her inbox.
Yeah.
But Alina's been focusing on that those design jobs. So I'm like, here's the information. This is the style we need to do it. If you could do this, that, and the other. And that is a delegation. But I need to make sure I give it to her.
Yeah.
But then it's faff on email. You need to make sure that you're organised, you're taking your time to allocate things, label things correctly, you're not missing information. And I think the truth is with business, like, faff is so important, and I think it's easy at the start to get lost in the faff.
Yes, it is.
So when you're trying to find work, trying to find people, I remember sitting at my kitchen table, day one, open my laptop, and I was like, suddenly the world felt very big.
Yeah.
And I'm like, no one's going to find me here. And I know I can post on social media and this, but you start on zero.
100%.
So I was like, where do I need to go? Federation of Small Business. Got to the networking events, meet people. That's a faff.
Yeah.
I've just booked onto the North East Expo up at Newcastle Racecourse, 14th of November.
Where at that?
Are you?
Yeah.
I'm a guest.
Oh, lovely.
A delegate. Just
delegate.
Coming
right. No, we've actually got our own stand.
Have you? Fantastic. So I'm coming as a guest. And I'm looking at it going, 14th of November, is it worth taking a day out of my time to go to that? But then I'm looking at some of the seminars and some really cool seminars.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yes, it is. I need to go and meet people and do it. And I was meant to be at another networking event yesterday. Unfortunately, I had to cancel because something happened. But, you know, I've got to prioritise that.
Definitely.
Could that be seen as a faff? Well, yeah, but it's about building relationships and meeting people. It's not necessarily doing the client work, but And I find sometimes that hard. You can have so much to do, and you're like, I'm going to take a day out to go and exhibit.
Exactly. Yeah? Can you afford that day out? No, you can't. Nobody's paying you to go to that.
No.
You're paying to go to that event.
It's costing you to go.
Definitely, and it's cost us to go, and it's cost us to set up a stand there. Is it faff? Yes. Should I do it? Absolutely, because there's a couple of seminars I want to go to. And again, think about the day that I'm going to have there. Bless me, Michelle. We're going to be stood there, greeting people, hopefully meeting a lot of potential new customers, also meeting suppliers.
People will be raising tickets in the background.
But then I've got to take time out and go, sorry, Michelle, I need to go to this seminar.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
100%.
And again, I'm like, do we need to do that? But I'm like, I think it's important. I need to go to this. But I'm looking forward to it because it's going to hopefully meet some people.
It's great.
I'll be able to see you.
Me and you in a few weeks are going to Tech Jam.
We certainly are.
So Tech Jam's been advertised heavily. If you're not a business owner seeing the Tech Jam advertising, I'd be surprised.
It's been heavily
because it's all over Facebook, paid ads and all sorts of stuff, and they're doing some really cool campaign work, in fairness, like video
definitely
stuff.
Good.
They're doing a really good job. Tech Jam is get together all around tech, and they've got speakers.
We should have a Tech Break podcast about Tech Jam.
Yeah, Tech Jam.
Tech Jam.
I don't think they're copying us really, but
Yeah, exactly. Copy from the best.
Yeah, exactly. But so we're going to that event because our podcast is tech.
Yeah.
Kind of it's tech a business, but also it's about taking some time out of the business. It's important to take time out of the business to faff around and do that sort of stuff. But what would we learn? It might open our horizons to what's there. There's an opportunity to meet people. Who was I thinking of the other day? There's one person. There's a company that we're working with now, and I've been working with them doing occasional little bits of work for 3 years.
Right.
This year, hi, we want to bring our marketing to you. Brilliant.
Thank you.
If you didn't take the time out to faff and do that bit and just get to know people and sort of build relationships and this, that, and the other, they wouldn't be coming to you 3 years later. And I think that's the thing. Business can be so long term.
It has to be that way. It has to be that you deliver, you want to leave a lasting impression that it's a good job, so you don't want them to come back to you. And certainly we are in a fortunate position, both you and myself, where we have, if you like, a contractual obligation. Yep. It's not as if I will come. I mean, I do, you must do. You must just get people coming to you and going, can you do this for me? Thank you, bye-bye.
Yep.
Never hear from them again. Let me ask the silly question.
I did some headshots for a girl the other day.
Right.
That will be a one-off.
Okay.
That'll be pretty much.
If you turn up in a very clean van, do a very professional job, email, asking if they were satisfied, will they come back to you? 100% they will.
Yeah.
Yeah, turn up in a dirty van, do an okay typish job. Yeah, they'll probably think, well, thank you very much, Adam. I wouldn't never use him
I'm good.
Again.
Yeah, absolutely.
But absolutely, so it's important, isn't it? But all of this is important.
But if I had insert business name at gmail.com.
Not sure.
In the field that I'm working in, if it was you, definitely not.
Definitely.
Exactly. If you're an IT, I think it's about thinking about what you do. If you work in technology, you really need to have a think about, or if it's, even just creative, like marketing. Whilst it isn't like you're an IT company, but you're working in digital space, you're using digital platforms, you need to lead by digital example. It's probably the best way to explain it.
I do get it when people go, but I don't know if the business is going to make it. I tell you what, I'll just give myself a Gmail account because it's free.
How much is a domain name?
About £8.
Yeah, £8. So £8 a year for a domain name. A domain name is the house sign, as I describe it.
Absolutely right.
The hosting, where you host your website or where you host your email, is like the house.
Yeah.
And you can actually have two different houses, one for your email, one for your website.
Yeah.
I.e., one computer does your website and a different computer does your email.
Correct.
In simple terms. So you could have your email with Andy and you could have your website with me.
Yeah.
They are two different things. Not that we set it up that way necessarily. We actually work differently. Normally what I do, if people are pointing to me, I'll then go, Andy, we need to plug you in now. So what, £8?
Yeah.
You can get a webmail hosting, like with your hosting packages. So if you had a website, this, that, and the other. Or if you've got a company like us, so we can offer webmail.
Yeah, yeah.
I have then gone, because we if I get a question about do we want my Office Exchange servers, is Exchange, isn't it? Yeah. If we want that, that now is the point where I go, you want to speak to Andy?
Yes.
And that's where we collaborate to do that. Because you guys are the specialists in it. and we work together to then set that up. So I do my little bit, and Andy does his big bit to set everything up. But essentially, for the cost of a domain name and a hosting package, you could have your email sorted in a way. Done. You could then go to the next level where you go the Teams route, the Microsoft route, which carries a monthly fee. But that gives you Word and PowerPoint,
Excel, PowerPoint, Word, Outlook.
Yeah, and all the email apps. So it's worth considering that.
I
Also,
think so.
if you look at cash flow, instead of having to drop, say, how much is Word nowadays? If you can you buy it one off anymore?
You can buy it one off. It's £100 odd quid.
Yeah, so you could either fork out 100 odd quid in a oneer and have it, but there'll be, over time it'll expire and do it, or you could pay a monthly subscription for Teams or Microsoft, and you would have always the updated version.
And
of
that's
software.
the key. When you buy the one off, you've got to then, update it. If it expires at the end of that license, you've got to renew it, or you can still use it, but the software will be out of date very quickly.
Software's a faff. That's a faff, and I see a lot of people that have cobbled things together. I'd done it in the first instance. I had a version of Office. I bought Office.
Yeah.
The standalone, but then I moved over to the one with you. It's just easier.
Yeah, of course it is.
Better.
Yeah.
But I think faffing around looking at your business systems is so important. So that could be your accountancy, how you're doing record keeping. I'm a big believer in you need digital bookkeeping software, because this person in question, they're like, I can't send any of my emails for invoices. I'm like, you can do it through a browser and upload. It's a fat. It's
exactly.
It just doesn't do it the way you want. But I'm like, if you're in digital bookkeeping software, you can attach it to an email account, and then you can just send from the software. So you go invoice for 20 quid, send, and it sends the email with the invoice to the contact that's listed.
Yeah, dead easy.
It's a 2-second job. But you've got to mess around with these systems.
Hassle and faff.
Hassle and faff. That's basically running the business, though, isn't it?
It is, but it's important that you do take that time out to do the hassle and faff, otherwise things don't
What's
grow.
the best thing, then, that you've faffed on with your business?
See, I'm different because I automate a lot.
But that's faff.
But that's faff. But it's important for me to do it because I take time out of my day to automate something that can take me 2 or 3 hours, and I've now got it down to half an hour.
Right.
But now I've saved myself time, money, effort. It's always doing it. It's right every single time because I've automated it. Talking to Facility 6, they have lots and lots and lots of paper forms.
Yeah.
And I'm going, nope, Microsoft forms. Showed them it, and they were like, oh my Lord. Yeah. This is just good.
Game changer.
Game changer, because again, what they've got at this moment in time is lots of paper forms. They've got to circle things, tick things. He said, Dan was saying that they've recently changed the form, right, because of regulations. Right. So he says, look, here's 50 forms I pre-printed out that have to go in the bin because they're out of date now. And I'm going, Microsoft Forms it. Go into there, add the option, click, done.
2 good things that I did. Go cardless.
Oh, wow.
Integration. That essentially allows me to do direct debits.
Nice.
You pay a fee for it.
Yeah.
And you could look at the fee and go,
but
that has saved so much time.
Yeah.
Was it a faff to set up? Yes. Did I have to plug it into my bookkeeping? Yeah.
Yes.
Did I know how? Not really.
No.
Figured it out.
Yeah.
It was simple enough. There's loads of guides. Go cardless. Fantastic. Yeah. Good faff. What was the other one?
Can't remember.
No, I can. Teams. I'd probably say Teams.
Yeah.
Teams for us. What a faff. You start off with an empty Teams shell.
You do.
And now we divide up into client work, operations, and in the operations, the health and safety stuff, and this, that, and the other. We've got the structure in place now. And even a few months ago, we went, right, we've grown, things have changed a bit. We need to reframe how we folder these. And we had it divided. We had our social media clients, and then we had a client folder.
All right,
just because some just do some work.
Yes.
Some want social media. So at the time, it made sense to have social media so you could go into there and do it. Now it's all centralised around the client. We had to faff moving the folders around.
Yeah.
It's an absolute pain in the bottom to do. And we spent probably a good day between us collectively, moving it around, but we knew why we were doing it. Why is that good? Well, it's we've got a filing system. We know where everything is. Anyone should be able to go in and access those files. and things are stored correctly, and making sure that we've got backups in place.
Yep.
And things are on there. So that was a good one. The other faff, Spielberg.
Oh yes. How is the machine?
How is Spielberg, Alina?
Nodding, thumbs up.
Nodding.
Thumbs up.
He could do with a bit more space, which I need to sort out. But
yeah, that'll be a faff.
That'll be a faff. Yeah, that will be a faff. That will 100%. Because Spielberg was a faff. So if you don't know what Spielberg is, it's a computer with no monitor.
Yep.
That sits
headless, they call it.
Headless, yeah. I don't want to say he's headless.
Spielberg is headless.
Basically, with the podcasting, we're turning out lots of edits, and it was grinding Alina's computer to a halt.
Yeah.
We needed to get it off. Get it off the main server. We needed 2 copies. Our storage server is for storing. It's not necessarily for editing, so it runs a bit slower with files, which is fine because it's the way it's set up deliberately. But we needed a faster solution.
Yeah.
That's when we repurposed the computer with you.
Stole.
You gifted, whatever. Repurposed a used computer.
Absolutely.
Put TrueNAS on it. And then we did it, and then I had to plug it into the network and then work out how to use it, and then teach Alina how to use it, and then that was a faff.
But how much has it revolutionised?
It was absolutely worth it.
It was, wasn't it?
It was absolutely worth it in terms of like storage capacity and stuff. It just makes me happy seeing Spielberg.
Yeah, it does.
And we call him Spielberg because he's the fantastic Mr. Spielberg.
Exactly. But the faff, again, Dan and James, going back to Facility 6, they were not reluctant, but slightly dubious about moving to Teams. They both got Macs. Does it work on Macs? Absolutely. It's got not a problem at all. So we had the very first session the other week, and I was showing Teams, and they're like, and I could sense their reluctance. And I'm like, I know. This is it's a hassle for you because changing the way that you're working. James, bless him, was like, just dump it on my desktop. And I'm like, yeah, but look at the hassle that causes Dan.
I see it all the time.
Absolutely.
If it's stuck on your machine and you're working in more than 2, what's that collaborative way of doing it?
Exactly.
That's what we're team.
Now, fast forward a week later, how are you getting on with Teams? Oh, it's bloody marvellous, Andy.
Great. Yeah.
The minute I store something in there, he says, I save it to my desktop, I save it to my Teams on my Mac. He said, instantly Dan's got it. He says, I literally turn off my Mac at home, at work, go home, fire up the laptop Mac. I said, there's my document.
Yeah,
I said, and he went, I get it. He said, I wasn't convinced. He said, a week later, wow, why have I not done this sooner?
Yeah, exactly. But it's a faff.
It's a faff, mate.
It's a faff. And
anyway.
I think you've got to spend so much time doing it, but yeah, I've just spent a lot of time faffing, I think, in short. So when you asked me how my week was,
that's
I'm
glad you got it all off. I'm glad you got it all off.
I don't know. I think this is a very untouched subject in business in some regard, and I think it just to reiterate, it's so important to get right. If you're running the business, you need to balance getting the work done with developing the systems, I suppose, what we're talking about.
But also, Adam, let's fast forward a year.
Yep.
HubSpot is growing.
Yep.
Right? You've employed somebody else called Jill.
Let's say we fast forward a week.
Yes.
Jess is finishing.
Yes.
Adam's coming in.
Yep.
I've messaged you this morning. Hi, I need to do this. This is going to happen next week. He's going to walk in. There's username and password.
Correct.
Logs in.
Everything's set up for him.
Everything's there.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
I was more thinking, though, you get somebody else on in a year's time. Jill.
Yep.
Yeah, you go. Not a problem. Jill dot bang. Done, dusted, because you've taken the faffing time now.
Yep.
I didn't swear, by the way.
The faffing time.
The faffing time, but you've done it now to faff now, but next year when you do take on somebody else, and let's say it's another Jill, perfect.
Yeah, you can just dial in and you add it on, but I've put the systems in place to scale. And I think that's the same. If someone had domain name and a webmail,
I know.
They could just add another email address. That person leaves, you could just move them over.
Absolutely.
It's not yes, there's technicals to it, but don't let that put you off. There's resources out there, there's companies like yourself, for example, that do that. But it's worth the time to do it, because ultimately you end up having to backtrack and regather everything as you go.
And that actually causes more hassle.
Yeah, it does. A bigger faff.
A bigger faff.
Later down the line.
Yeah.
So today was all about faff.
Anyway, my friend, what are you doing at the weekend?
So this weekend I am playing for Darlington Mighty Twos against Billingham.
No, you're winning against them. Otherwise, the sponsorship.
We plan to, because I will lose my sponsorship. Yeah. So I'm playing rugby tomorrow, and then kids sport across the weekend. One's playing football tomorrow.
Right.
the boat got training on Sunday, so I'll be
Very nice.
running around doing that. Really.
Very good. Very good.
What about you?
We are setting off to Bognor Regis.
Are you?
Bognor Regis.
What's that for?
Because we are filming the Heritage Chart Christmas special show at Butlins.
Mate, are you?
Yeah, so we've got the huge Butlins stage. We've got some very nice stars turning up. So it's going to be awesome.
Christmas.
Absolutely, Christmas special. We all have to wear our Christmas jumpers and
Big Christmas fan. I love Christmas.
We've actually ordered the Christmas tree. It's downstairs. We're taking it tomorrow to the Butlins stage. Been introduced to some very nice people in Butlins. So got the Jive Aces, got Lamal, got some videos from. Unfortunately, we couldn't get Tony Hadley or Cliff Richard. Bless them. They were busy, but we've got their videos. We've got a couple of other people: P.P. Arnold, Denise Pearson. So it's going to be awesome, but it's a long, long drive.
Yeah, I'm gonna look up what is it?
6.5 hours.
When do you set off?
We're going to set off silly early tomorrow morning.
Yep.
Because that way we'll miss all the traffic, and it also means that we'll get in there on a Saturday afternoon. We're meeting up with Mike Reed and Daniel James and Carol Ferguson for a meal. I think Mike said he might invite somebody else over. Brilliant. The actual day is Sunday. The artists, they're coming at certain times, so it'll all be stitched together. Right. Then Sunday night, staying back over again, and then Monday morning, getting up silly early and driving all the way back to here because I've got a meeting at 12 o'clock. So
if I see you staggering in the door in Christmas gear, looking rather tired.
Yes, it'll be because of that, but so looking forward to that.
That's great.
That's Christmas early. Yeah,
early Christmas. That'll be fun. That
singing all the Christmas songs and everything, and yes, so that. Looking forward to that. I love
Christmas songs, but since I started DJing, and I started DJing Christmas party, I'm booked literally last weekend. I'm fully booked all of December.
Booked, yeah.
And at first you're like, yay,
Christmas,
dancing along, Whamageddon, and then you're like the next,
yeah. If I ever hear Whamageddon,
well, normally you're playing a good mix of songs.
Of course you are, yeah.
But obviously with Christmas, it kind of intensifies your playlist to a certain bunch of all the Christmas bangers that everybody likes to hear.
Absolutely. So now looking forward to that. So it's going to be a great weekend.
Fantastic. Well, I hope you have a great weekend.
Thank you, sir.
I hope you travel safe, and I look forward to another week of faffing.
Hassle and faff. Bye, everybody.
Bye.